I'm a little bit busier these days because of my practical exams. So I'm not being able to go over everything right now.
And you're living in
I
UK.
might need more time. I am, yeah.
So did you shift from India, or like do you live there?
No,
Have you
I'm from
always?
Nepal.
You're from Nepal. Oh, nice, very nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so before I show you the modules and everything, you have seen me. You see my Instagram, like so. You have seen some videos that I post, right? Do you like the content
yeah.
overall? Do you like the videos?
I do.
Okay. Also, first, I wanted to understand your problems. What are the challenges you are facing right now in communication, so I can direct you at the right phases on the module.
I think at this time it's listening comprehension,
Okay.
and I can respond, but not too clearly, I would say. So yeah, those two are one of the biggest struggle I'm facing right now. So I want to work on my listening comprehension first before I move on to anything else.
That's actually very fantastic. That's actually brilliant because a lot of people, when they want to learn communication, they are always trying to, oh, I want to speak better. I want to speak in fantastical
Yeah,
words. I want to use the vocabulary. But what you're saying is actually what makes sense, that first we have to focus on our listening comprehension. How did you even figure
that's
that
true.
out? How did you figure that out? Okay, this is what I need to fix first.
Uh, So I'm in the second year of my degree, and we need to do a placement first in this semester. I'm in the third semester right now, so I'm okay speaking with my friends. I do understand them fine, but when I went to the placement, a lot of patient, maybe because they used a lot of slangs as well. I just got so confused. Thank God I passed, but still,
Right. I see. I see where you're
still,
coming from.
yeah, from
So
there
basically, they're
I
using
wanted
some
to.
phrases. They're using some phrases that you are not aware of, basically.
Yeah, I was. Um,
That's actually what
yeah.
you're talking about is actually has to do with a lot of cultural context. Do you understand? Cultural
Maybe.
context. Yes. So you're in UK right now, and the friends you're talking about, the people you're talking about, they're talking some specific things that you're saying that you're not able to connect with them, what they are saying,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
That is not specifically due to your lack of comprehension skills. That's actually due to a lack of cultural exposure. How long have you been
Mm-hmm.
living there in UK? How long has it been?
It's been 3 years now,
3 years, right?
but yeah.
So let me give you an example of that. The lack of cultural exposure. For example, I live in Delhi. I live in India, right? And even in Delhi, I live
Mm-hmm.
in a very small part in Rohini, right? And you have lived in Nepal before, right? Your entire life you lived in
Yeah.
Nepal, probably, right? Now, where in Nepal? A specific place in Nepal, I believe, right? Like you
Yeah.
have a town, you have
Yeah.
a
Kathmandu.
hometown. Exactly. Now
Mm-hmm.
think about what happens is there's so many things that comes like I live in Rohini, so like this is a small town. Rohini is a small town in the whole Delhi. So there are some things that
Right.
I will say that only my Rohini people will be able to understand.
Yeah.
No, and you can relate that. Like you're from Kathmandu, you said, right? From
Yeah.
Nepal. There are some
Yeah.
very
That's true.
specific things
Mm-hmm.
that are rooted in the history. Like maybe it has to do with the way you speak, maybe it has to do with the things you eat, you have a specific flavor of that experience. And you're living in UK. It's nowhere near Nepal. It's like very far. It's like a total
It is
different, like total alien to us. And I cannot relate because I never lived there.
true.
I've spoken with people from UK, like
Mm-hmm.
I was working in Convergence when I was working there. I've spoken with UK people like for 8 hours non-stop for almost 2.5 years. But it still doesn't come
Yeah.
any close to a person who lives there for like 10 years or 20 years or 30
Yeah.
years. The people you're talking to, they have been living there for 30 years or 50 years, right? Those are the people you're talking to on a daily
Mm-hmm.
basis. So, I mean, in my modules, I don't have a specific UK culture exposure, to be honest with you. If because that is what I
Yeah.
feel like you're trying to understand, trying to connect with. But there are a couple of things that you
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have a listening comprehension problem. You're able to understand everything I'm saying, right? You're able to connect with your friends. So I
I,
don't, so I don't find that as a problem. Like you don't have a listening problem, honestly. What you have is
okay.
a specific people problem because that is coming from their culture.
Yeah,
Like, so let's say a UK person comes to Nepal, comes to a place where you live and starts living beside you, and they'll feel like even after 2 3 years, they'll feel like, oh, I'm not able to connect with Ruchi because some things you say are very deeply rooted to how Nepali people are, right? You can
true.
relate to that,
Yeah.
and it's gonna take some time. Like I've been listening to American people for the last 10 years. I listen to their songs. I watch their movies, but there are still so many things they will say which are like deeply rooted
True.
back from like 100 years ago, which I have never heard about. And I'm like, is it? Do I have a comprehension problem? I'm trying to teach people, but I can't understand this. It's not my problem. It's just something I've never lived there. That's the only thing. And because think about
Mm-hmm.
the stories they tell their kids, that is how they learn. The stories we have learned, the stories I have heard from my
It's
parents are
completely
different.
different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's from like my parents' background, my mother's background, my father's background, my grandfather. Similarly to you, like your parents, your grandfather, your relatives have taught you a different set of experiences. That is what creates our exposure, our experience. But you have never learned these things
Yeah.
about the UK people. And specifically, where do you live in UK? Where do you live in
No,
UK?
it's just. Oh, sorry. I live in Aldershot,
Aldershot. Where is that?
so it's 40 minutes away from London.
Okay, so close to London. So again, even in UK, UK is so big, right? Like there's Manchester, there's so many different cities, there are so many different towns, even in UK. Even like
London
even
is
if you
London
start
alone is too big.
exactly, London alone is too big. So if you talk to just people from London and people that you are living right now, they will also have a
Hmm.
different exposure, a different background, right? So you're not always
Yeah.
going to be. So that's not a comprehension. Like I'm going to summarize everything. You don't have a
Okay.
comprehension problem. Okay, so first let's clear that out. You have a
Okay.
cultural problem which like you can the solution to that is maybe there are some YouTube videos who are teaching UK culture,
Okay.
and that's what you want to learn.
Maybe expose myself to more of
Yes,
the phrases.
phrases you can say, yes, UK specific to UK. Or another thing you can do is like there's a like what do you do right now, like what are you doing right now to learn or to listen? What do you listen to right now? Do you watch English movies, UK movies?
No, I just watch some of the UK podcast
Podcast, okay, you listen
and
to
YouTube
podcasts.
videos to expose myself to the various accents in the
Okay.
UK.
Right. So one thing you can definitely
If not,
podcast is a good thing. What you're doing is great. Keep listening to the podcast, but every time you listen to a new phrase in the podcast, make a note of it. Like maybe WhatsApp or a diary, whatever you use, make a note of it. Like, okay, this is something I don't know. This is something new to me. I wanna listen to this. Or maybe the best way you can like go to ChatGPT and you can ask ChatGPT. I live here in UK and give me like 200 phrases that are cultural to where I live, specifically to your state where you're living right now. Does that make sense?
okay,
And another thing
it
you
does.
can do is like when you're talking to people, just ask them when you don't understand something, just ask them, hey, what does that mean? I'm actually new here. Could you tell me what does that mean?
I do that all the time.
Yeah, I mean
Can you
that's
please
just
repeat?
you will learn that with that will take time to learn. But from what I can figure out, you don't have a comprehension problem.
Right.
So what else?
Okay.
What else are you trying to learn? That will take time.
I know I'm practicing my clarity and fluency at the same time.
Okay.
And for that, I already told you that I'm doing shadowing
Mm-hmm.
and mirror talking as well. I'm recording 2 minute video of myself talking directly about not different, something related to my own course. So
Mm-hmm.
it's easier for me to
Your own
memorize
course, as in you're trying
everything
to
I
make a
need to.
course.
I'm studying physio at the moment.
Okay.
So
Okay. So you're making videos about
yeah,
a topic that you've just learned about the physio.
yeah,
Okay. Makes
yeah,
sense.
not the random topics
Mm-hmm. That's good.
because
That's actually very
the
good.
the course itself is so intense,
Mm.
and we have 9 to 5. Monday to Fridays.
Yeah.
So that is why I don't have a lot of time to do anything
Hmm.
um, other than just relate any topics to my studies, to the
Makes
course.
sense.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Okay. So one thing you're doing is you're
Mhm.
doing shadowing. And how do you shadow? So you find a podcast and you start shadowing. Is that how you do it?
No,
Okay.
no, I just find a 30-second video of anybody I like and then just shadow them.
Okay. Like
And
from Instagram
normally I
Shorts
do
or YouTube
one
Short, like
video.
short videos,
Yeah, YouTube short.
YouTube
Yeah,
Shorts. Perfect.
30
Perfect.
second one. Yeah.
And you start
Yeah, that's
shadowing
it.
them. And how many times do
Yeah,
you shadow that one video?
5 to 6 times.
That's good. Where did you learn
I
that
listen
from?
to them. No, that's just my thinking, and it's normally about something related to my course, so that it won't go out of my mind.
Yes. That's good. That's how you should shadow. People, the mistakes people make in during shadowing, they just pick one clip or they don't even pick a clip, first of all. They just find a random video and they start shadowing for 10-minute videos and they start shadowing the whole 10 minute. There's not a lot you're
Ten
going to
minute is too
retain.
much.
Yeah, too much you're not going to retain
Mm-hmm.
anything. But what you're
That's too
doing is
much.
actually perfect. But I was also
Yeah,
trying to ask, do you record yourself while shadowing? And do you listen yourself back?
I I do.
You do that.
Um.
How do you do
Oh,
that?
not the shadowing one, but
Okay.
what I normally do is I just talk about my day and just record it.
Okay. So first thing I think you should do is the one thing you can do. And do you ever listen back to your recordings?
I do.
Okay.
And I've realized that I don't use a lot of filler words, but I do, I don't know, I do think about my grammar a lot.
Okay.
Because back in Nepal, I was so good in my grammar. So I tend to do that a lot. And this is affecting my clarity and my fluency as well.
Okay.
So I've realized it, and I try to not to focus on grammar a lot,
Hmm.
but unconsciously I just do it.
And
So when I talk to my friends, I
yeah.
try to correct them, but what they do is, no, you just speak what you want. You don't have to take care of the grammar thing.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah, but
how's
I'm too
that coming
conscious
back?
about
Like
it.
you're saying you didn't think about grammar when you back in Nepal. So why now? Why are you thinking about grammar now?
I don't know. I don't know. Probably consciousness.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
And
and I when I yeah
do
when
you
I
ever
when I
find
hear.
yourself sorry to cut you, but do you ever find yourself like translating still? Like I don't think you would have that problem anymore. Like maybe from your mother tongue
No,
from
I don't
Nepal, you
translate.
don't translate, right? It doesn't even look like
No,
you
I don't.
translate, which is good. Because people who
Yeah.
translate, they get stuck in these grammar issues.
No, no, no. I did translation as well, but not from Nepali to
Okay.
English, but English to English. If
That's
that
not
makes sense.
translation. That's not translation.
I
How is
do
that
think about, but
translation?
I do think about the grammar a lot. A
Okay.
lot. I've
Okay.
realized it.
What in what way?
Yeah.
But in what way?
So something, if I ate an apple, I can't just say I eat apple. I have to say it, I ate an apple.
So that bothers you. If you say I ate apple,
That does.
that bothers you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That does.
Which
Yeah.
is not an
And
issue as
also,
well. I mean, you're at that level where you can actually think about, okay, now I want to fix my grammar as well. I think it's coming. It's so you're stuck in that phase actually where you're not a beginner, you're not an intermediate, but you're actually where like the advanced, the elite levels in English that you can speak English, you can start connecting with people. So now the last thing you want is like having grammar take you down or probably like being bothered about
mhm.
grammar. So you just want it perfect now. It's more like that. You're just
Is
trying to
it?
create a standard for yourself. Like, okay, no, my grammar has to be good now. I'm at that level. Is it something like that?
No, it's actually from the very beginning
Okay.
when I started speaking as well. It's the problem from the very beginning, not just now.
Well, that is something I can tell you a couple of things about that, but then again, I mean, in my module there is everything. Okay, let me summarize. So, is that all? Is that everything about you? Like you said, you have a fluency issue. Sometimes you have some clarity issue. What did you mean by
Yeah.
clarity when you say it? What does that mean?
I do understand my friends very clearly, but when I try to explain things, um, sometimes they don't understand. And I try to explain them in very simple way, but also they find it difficult, probably because of my pronunciation as well. So yeah, I'm working on my pronunciation as well for that
Pronunciation.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, pronunciation. Yeah.
Yeah. And how long have you been doing shadowing for? How long has it been?
Um, 2 months now.
Okay, so
Not
you're
long
still new.
ago.
So it's still a new
I
concept
am.
to you. Okay. Because when
Yeah.
I figured out shadowing, nobody taught it to me. Like I've been doing shadowing for the last 10 years. So when I started,
All
I
right.
thought, okay, this is like a very simple way to learn a language. You can just start repeating whatever you hear.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing
Yeah.
that for like 10 years and now I see the compounding effects of it.
All
You
right.
see,
Are you
because it
still doing it?
compounds. Yeah, I do it all the time because it's just a habit now. Whenever I listen to something in
Okay.
English, like even if I see you, if even if I'm talking to you and I feel like okay, they have used something new, they have used a new word, a new phrase, I'll start shadowing that person. I don't really care about like whether it's a kid, whether it's a video on YouTube, whether it's someone outside. If I see someone, if I feel like okay, that is something good that I want to use, I will shadow that thing again and again, 3 4 times. So that kind of retains in my brain.
That's okay.
Right. So,
Right.
but what I'm saying is you're still new to the shadowing concept. And how long are you doing in one day? How many times do you do that 30-second shadowing?
Just one. Just one.
Just one. Okay.
Just
Okay.
yeah. I'm really selective. So I do have I
Right.
have something in my mind and I just Google it or just
Okay.
type it in YouTube and just yeah.
See, whatever you're doing is good. What you're doing is actually what is going to help you. But the only problem is you're doing too little of it.
Okay.
Think about like now you cannot compare
Mm-hmm.
that with someone who lives in UK for the last 20 years. Like your friends are probably your age, 20 to 25, somewhere in between, I believe. You know, the friend circle, the
Mm-hmm.
social circle you have, they're around in between that age. So they have been
No,
listening,
they are
talking,
below 20
thinking.
actually.
20, right? Exactly, 20, right? So what I'm saying is like they have been
Below
talking
20.
20. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have been
Yeah.
doing the same things. They're exposed to that. So, first of all, stop comparing yourself with them. First of all, that is the one thing you have to do. You cannot
I
compare
never
yourself
compare
with them.
myself to others. No.
Yes. Because sometimes people do that,
Yeah,
and
because
that's
we're
why they feel like, okay, I'm not good enough, because you're
yeah.
comparing. Even if you don't do that, it happens unintentionally because you're in that environment. It could
Yeah,
happen.
our cultures are completely different.
Yeah.
So
No, that's good. If you don't do it, that's
and
really good.
mm-hmm.
So, one thing I would say is shadow more as much as you can. That's the number one hack I will tell you right now because shadowing helps you with so many things. Like, it's like the
Mm-hmm.
ultimate hack. And I have actually, let me show you the tool now. Let me show you a couple of things. So, this is like the entire module. Do you understand Hindi, by the way? Do you
Oh,
speak Hindi?
I do. No, I
You
don't.
do.
I don't speak Hindi, but I do understand it.
The reason I'm saying is because when I made the entire module and courses, I was not thinking about international learners. So a lot of videos have some Hindi in it. Like especially the
Yeah,
first
I
few
do understand.
videos. The first videos have a lot of Hindi in it because I was making those videos for Indian learners, right? And they are more comfortable
Right.
in Hindi. So let me show you how the module works first of all, and then I will tell you what parts of it may help you more. Okay. Okay, so first
Okay.
one is define communication. There's nothing much here. Is the first one is pretty simple. The why here is like whoever. So this is actually for people who want to get coached under me. So you're not taking coaching from me right now. I'm just explaining the course, how the course works. Are you able to see my screen, by the way?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. Now, these are some
Mm-hmm.
videos like Act a Baby Mindset. You don't need to go through this. You already are doing it. You already live there, so you can ignore this one. But this is actually for more like beginners who are stuck in that translation phase, who are not able to think in English. So the entire module from tools to concepts of fluency to module one. This is all that teaches a person to how to think in English, basically. So this is not for you. Like
Mm-hmm.
you should start from module two, and that is the one module
True.
that you need. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need. Again, even you don't need everything in module two. First thing you need in module one is the shadowing part. So
Okay.
there are a couple of things here. First, there is a video here that you can watch if you can understand Hindi very well. Even if you don't understand some parts, okay,
Shadowing. So
you can get the subtitles. You can get the subtitles from English subtitles. YouTube will translate that for you, and you can still read the subtitles if you want. So another thing I have here is for shadowing. There are some resources, and then there is a shadowing tool. So first of all, you can the way this tool works is, let me show you the level 5. There are some resources, shadowing resources. Like there are some audios that you can listen and shadow. Again, it's like very small audios, 13 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. So these audios, all you have to do is just listen to them and shadow them. And then you get a recorder here. So
Okay.
you can record that audio, whatever you're shadowing, but use an earphone for that. So you can record and you can listen, okay, how they were speaking and how you are speaking. And you can match that. Okay,
Okay.
am I talking in the right way? Can I make something better out of it? Can I improve on my shadowing? Because you have to record your shadowing as well. The more times you record yourself, the better you will become naturally. But if you don't,
Okay.
so it's like, even if you do only one video, if you don't have a lot of time, but you do only one video,
Mhm.
but you're not recording it, then you're not actually learning anything, because you're not never listening to yourself.
Okay.
Makes sense? But if you just do one video but watch that shadowing recording, listen to it again and again, from an analysis
Okay.
purpose, not just for listening purpose, but from an, okay, how did I say that word? Did I say that correctly? Can I improve on it? So it's like a self review of your own recording, and that's
Okay.
what makes you
Yeah.
better, right? If you want like me to look into
Mm-hmm.
those recordings, that will come under like the premium coaching and all, that you'll be paying me for a couple of months, whatever. We can talk about that later. But if you just want to listen to
Yeah.
yourself, that is the one thing you should do. Because see, I used to take calls when I was back in call center and my convergers and then debt collection. The one thing I realized very late, that how much I ever try to take better calls, I cannot take better calls until I know the mistakes I'm making in my last calls. And how would I, who would
Mm-hmm.
tell me? Nobody is a great judge than me myself. Like my managers don't have
True.
time to listen to my calls. They have like 20 people in their team. They're not going to come and sit. I literally, there was one time like I
Yeah.
was doing very bad in terms of my performance. So I went to my manager. I told him, please listen to my calls, give me some feedback. So he's like, no, no, you're doing everything great. They don't have time, literally. They're not gonna sit and give me the feedback. So I listened to my calls, and that's when I figured out, okay, there are so many mistakes I'm making. Because now I can listen to the
Mm-hmm.
emotions I convey through my words. Now I can listen to the words I'm choosing, right? And that's how I
Mm-hmm.
figured out I can do this much better. But you have to do it on a daily basis. And so I started making it a habit. And every day, I would pick these slots. Like after 2 hours of taking calls, I just listen to 5 random calls. And that would teach me a lot, because that's like quick feedback I'm getting. So I'm not waiting for the next day. I'm not waiting
Yeah.
for the next day. Even you can check the recording the next day, but the best is you recorded something, you listen to it right away, and then you go to the next one,
Okay.
keeping that in mind. Okay, I need to take a pause when I say that. Okay, I need to stretch these words when I'm saying that. I need to put emphasis on these words. See that
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes you natural. Sometimes a lot of
Okay.
people think about, okay, I need to think about the vocabulary, I need to think about this, I need to think about my grammar. But if you have a good flow in the way you speak, so I'm not perfect at grammar, I'm not a language coach. Okay, so I will not say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
my grammar is perfect. No, I never say that, and I don't preach that at all. What I do is I make sure that when I explain something to you, my main motto has to be that, are you able to understand everything I'm saying or not?
Yeah.
That's the only motto you should have as a priority in communication. So you can lack 5 ten
Okay.
percent in grammar, it's totally fine. If you're able to connect with the other person, you did a great job. If you had a smile on your face while you were talking, and the other person felt good while talking to you, they learned something, and they felt a connection with you, you did a great job.
Yeah.
Nobody keeps a paper and a pen. Okay, grammar. Oh, he said, she said, I ate apple, and she forget the an. Oh, yeah, only 5 marks out of 10. Nobody does that. Nobody's keeping a pen in their pockets, right? So it's just a
Yeah.
self-limiting belief we have. Okay, I have to be perfect. No, we don't have to be. I ate apple. I will say it all the time. Like, I eat apple. I will not say I eat an apple. I will say I eat apple. What are you going to do about it? Tell me. Nobody cares, honestly. See, think about it. If a foreigner comes to Nepal and they start learning the language, it takes them 2 years, 3 years. And when they speak to you in Nepalese, or I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, they speak in your language,
Yeah.
but you're able to understand everything. He's able to make that connection with you. Would you really care that
Mm-hmm.
he's making like 5% grammatical mistakes? Would that really cross your mind? Or would you think about
No.
he's putting a great effort? I mean, I'm able to understand everything. I can understand their emotions. That's all a person
Mm-hmm.
needs because language is a tool to communicate and connect with people. If you're able to express, grammar doesn't matter. So
True.
that's the end line. That's all I can tell you about grammar. Okay, back to the here. Now, so I don't know what's happening. My resources are not loading, but it will load. So these are basically some audios.
Yeah.
You can listen and you can watch this video as well. It's just a quick training. Yeah, basically what I was showing you is this tool. You can pick any YouTube recording here, YouTube video, a shorts or a long form video. You can put it here.
Mm-hmm.
It will load that video, and now you can shadow this video.
Welcome aboard. Dynabook will
Okay.
take your business to the next level.
In 1929, almost
And you also get a recorder here. So, for example, if I want to record myself, you're probably not able to hear the recording. Let me share my screen again.
100 years ago, the world was hit by the most brutal
The world's
recession
most
ever
brutal
in history.
recession
Fear
ever
turned to
in
panic.
history.
Brokers began unloading margin accounts. In less than 2 hours,
Less
nearly
than
$10
2 hours,
billion
nearly
invested in
10
stock.
billion. So what I'm doing is I'm recording myself while doing the shadowing. And now I will give a review to myself. It's the most brutal recession ever in history. Are you able to listen to that?
Yeah.
So did you see what I did there? This is what gives me a review. Am I doing a good enough job or not? And again, you don't have to be 100% perfect. Even if you're like 80-90% there, you did a great job. That's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I feel like no, I can do this better, I just reset it and I start again. Simple.
Okay.
So this is one tool you can definitely pick. There are a couple of conversations, or you can pick any YouTube video you want, and that's the way I made it. So you don't have to use these resources. You can use whatever you want from the YouTube or Instagram. For now, only these two
Okay.
things work here. So YouTube or Instagram, you can
Okay.
put any video here. After that, we go to the module two. Module two is actually for articulate and express. Like if you want to get better at your clarity, the
Mm-hmm.
way you express, the way you explain something in a slightly better manner, in a much better manner than you what you're doing probably right now. So those are the things that you will learn here. These are the first 4 or 5 things that you need. So first, just take your time. A lot of people like get
Okay.
into like, okay, the moment I ask you questions like the rapid fire, I ask you a question, you have to answer. It's not, that's not how real communication works. When somebody asks you a question, you first let that process in your brain. That's what it teaches you. So first you process it, you take a
Mm-hmm.
couple of seconds, and then you speak about it. Second is speak slow. If you're finding that you're not
Okay.
able to explain something to someone, now I advise you to speak as slow as possible. You see what I'm doing right now? I'm speaking slowly, not in terms of volume, but in terms of the speed. How many words am I fitting per minute? Do you see how slowly I'm saying each and every word? And it's every word is
Yeah.
clear. You're able to understand every word. Just try doing
Mm-hmm.
that. And that's what I teach here in this
Okay.
part. This is such an underrated hack because generally humans have this, like, I'm from India, we Indians especially, we have this innate thinking, like intuition. We have this feeling we have to speak faster. Maybe we're trying to look
Yeah.
cool or something, but our mind and tongue are not connected in sync all the time. Your mind will have so many different
Mm-hmm.
thoughts, like thousand and thousand of thoughts, but when you speak you can only pick the right ones. And what happens when you're trying to speak fast, that you're not able to pick the right ones, and we jumble them
Yeah.
all the time. And that's why
Yeah.
sometimes people stammer as well. Right. So you will learn these things. There are other things as well. Third is thought chain. This is actually not for you. This is probably more for like people who are not able to speak at all. But you can go through this as well. You can check this out. How thought chain works.
Okay.
Th- this now another thing is this word flow game time. This could help you a lot. For example, like you see, there's a timer. There is one word coming up on the screen, a highlighted word, and there's a timer. You can control it. You can pause it. These are very simple words, but the idea of the game is to to not think about the words. You are given a word and you just have to speak about it. You can make any random sentence from it.
Oh,
That's all this does.
yeah.
So, for example, we click at 2.5 second. Whatever highlighted word you see, you have to make a sentence on it. Can you do it? You wanna give it a try?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
The idea of speaking, that's too fast for me.
Okay, let me do it
I
first.
like watching movies.
Okay. I have a tourist. There's a storm outside. I'm sitting beside you. I've just asked you a question. Hey, let's just sit in the silence. Actually, this is too slow for me. I can make it fast for
Yeah,
myself.
yeah, I'll try it.
Okay, try it. Go for it.
Now
Yeah.
I'm preparing my maybe next time. I have a family here. My birthday is in October. There isn't a lot of noise around me. I have a lot of energy in the morning. I trust myself. I almost tripped in the morning. I don't like airplanes. I love being around a child. I'm that's a too fast for me.
That's too fast, but that's good. So 2.5 was actually a bit slow, but it's okay. That's your level right now, 2.5. This is what's challenging for you. This is what you
Okay.
should practice. So you can start with 2.0 for 2.5 for now. Get into that habit a couple
Okay.
of days, and then later try to make it a bit challenging. 2.0 and then 1.5. Even 1.5 is more than enough. But what this activity does for
Okay.
you is generally what we don't get in real life, or like, because in real life when you're communicating, we are under a very small pressure. Like in a one-to-one conversation, we're in a small pressure. But when we are training ourselves, let's say we're doing a shadowing or we're talking about a topic under 2 minutes, we still have a lot of time. There is no pressure on our mind. We can
Mm-hmm.
still speak freely, or if it's
True.
not a good video, we can always close it and restart again. So, but what this simple activity gives you is it gives you new chance to think about random words and being able to spontaneously think about random topics and random sentences.
Mm-hmm.
and and the way you other way you make it more challenging is every word is connected in some way to a broader story. Like every time you do this activity for a couple of minutes, you keep all the words, all the sentences connected with a broader story. So for example, if I try to do it, I'm taking a ticket to go to the home, and the home there will be an alley. Then I'll finish my journey, and then I will have choice to pack my bags, and that would be great travel for me. Then I would sit under a roof. You see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to create stick to one
That's
story.
actually interesting. Yeah, that's actually interesting
Yeah,
and
there are
fun too.
multiple ways to make it challenging. Once you feel like okay, that's good enough. Yeah, you see,
Okay. Yeah.
these are there are these kind of activities that I've done over the years that has
Okay.
given me this kind of confidence that I can speak with anyone. I can speak with random people over the internet, and I'm trying to teach them communication skills. But also, from my call center experience, from my experience of helping people all the time. So, plus also, I'm also like as a part-time rapper. So I rap in English. I write my rhymes. Rhyming is
Oh,
another way. So,
wow.
are you into music, by the way? Do you listen to music?
Not really.
Okay, so no kind of music. You don't just you stay away from. Okay, music is
No,
in that room and I'm in
yeah.
this room. Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. But if you listen to music, like music gives you that better retention of words and a better clarity in the way you speak. So, like enunciation,
Mm-hmm.
it gives you that better enunciation, because whenever in music what they do is they express every emotion to the extreme level. If they are happy,
Okay.
they will stretch that happiness and they will make you very very happy. If they are sad, they'll make you very
True.
very sad, and that's what music is about. And that's what
Yeah.
sometimes we need in like real life as well. Sometimes we have to express that in those terms. So maybe if you want to give it a try, when you're shadowing, you can shadow, and that's what karaoke is about. You listen to a music and you sing with them. That's what so karaoke is just shadowing in music.
Okay.
Karaoke is the same
Yeah.
thing, and people have been doing that for years. But when it comes to learning a language, shadowing seems to be such a alien concept to a lot of people.
Yeah. True.
Right. Okay, this is another game. Another thing is this activity, the creativity well. You should do this, like absolute beast of an activity, because what this does is this
Okay.
one activity will take that grammar away from you, that fear of grammar away from you. Because in this activity, let me just show you an example of this activity. Basically, we're gonna be thinking about, like, for example, car, but we're going to be making such random bold statements from that car that has nothing to do with real life. For example, the
Okay.
statements you see, my car is like a big apple, which is not possible, but we're just giving giving that fascination, just creativity. That's why I called it the creative well. My car is sleeping in the parking lot. So you make that car, you give that object a kind of a human experience, like it's a living being. Right? And then
Okay.
you talk about it. For example, this phone. My phone really likes it when I hold it. That's such a weird concept,
Yeah.
but when you talk about it in that way, or maybe my phone hates it when I hold it. Maybe it doesn't like taking my selfies because I'm that ugly. I don't know, just random weird sentences, but that's what gives you a natural thinking process in English. And you
Mm-hmm.
need to be making those kind of jokes at times. You cannot always be, because if you ask someone, okay, right, 20s, okay, talk about the car. People will say, oh, it's a metallic car. It is this, it is that, it has four tires. Everybody's going to be talking in a boring way. But if you want to stand
Yeah.
out, you have to say things that nobody will say. And the lovely thing
Okay.
about this activity is that even if I teach you this activity, you learn this activity, and then we pick for example, a different object, like I have a remote, you'll be making very different statements from your own creative zone, and I'll be making using my creativity to talk about it in a very different way. Maybe I'll make it an
Yeah.
alien and you'll make it a
Fun.
cockroach. I don't know. See, and that's what we need. Like, if you're able to put a smile on someone's face, that's all communication is about. Like, you made someone's day. That's all communication is about, and that's how they connect
Yeah.
with you. Yeah, I mean, that was amazing. People have that experience. Yeah, that was just, although so simple, so underrated, I would say, and something that people would
Yeah, it
never
is.
use.
Mm-hmm.
And another example, like this is a car. For example, I told you mobile phone. My phone smiles when I unlock it. The phone cries when the alarm rings. The phone cries. It's like literally shouting when it's ringing, right? So you see, it's like getting into that zone. And I'll tell you something else. The problems you had about the listening comprehension, these kind of
Mm-hmm.
activities makes your improves your comprehension as well. The way that happens is because
Okay.
every language, even the culture, you will start understanding some parts. I would not say like 100% improvement, no, but at least like 30-40% improvement, because you will understand the way they are talking because of these kind of activities, because you're getting into the
Yeah,
depth
this.
of the language,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the more activities you do, the better you will become. Now, this is okay. So thought chain is the way people would talk generally, like about a remote, whatever they see, whatever relevant topics is, that's what thought chain is about. All the logic, all the right things. Creativity, well, is actually this word flow game is just spontaneity. The creativity, well, I told you just right now, this is like for more for a creative expression. You want to say some new things in a new way, then that's creativity. Well, after this comes the DEC method, which is curiosity raiders. What curiosity raiders is, this will
Okay.
teach you how to explain a topic. You had that issue, like you're not able to explain a topic, sometimes you get stuck.
Yeah,
The biggest reason,
I do.
what do
Yeah.
you think is the biggest reason that happens? The biggest one.
I don't know. Maybe because I haven't spoken much.
That's one. That's definitely one reason. But what is
Yeah.
the biggest reason?
I.
When you say you haven't spoken
I don't
much,
know.
where is that coming from? What does that tell you as a more deep rooted answer? Why you haven't spoken much about this?
Because I don't have anybody to speak in English with.
Okay, but you can always talk to yourself and chat GPT about the topic if you really wanted to.
I did, but before the placement, I really didn't think about speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
maybe
Okay.
maybe because I did not need to. So
Yes.
I did not
Priority.
focus on that thing.
That's also there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a priority. But yeah, right. Let me get to it because we don't have the whole day. But the point here is the biggest reason is because we don't understand that thing very well. Whatever topic you're trying to explain, you haven't spoken much about it. Yes, you haven't given priority to it. Yes, you don't have someone to speak it to. But again, like you can talk to a wall, you can talk to a phone all the time. So that doesn't make sense, right? The deep
Mm-hmm.
thing is you just don't understand that topic very well.
Is it?
Yes, that is the biggest reason. For example, let me give you an example. Uh, can you talk about success? What success means to you?
To be able to achieve my goals.
Okay, but is that all?
What
What is
else
that
could
goal?
there be?
It's a very vague sentence. To be able to achieve my goals, what is that goal we're talking about?
Completing a degree.
Completing your degree. And once you complete your degree, you will feel successful.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not judging you.
For the
This works for
moment,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's cool. That's cool. Whatever works for you, that's fine. But again, because you understand what success is, but let me give you a different term that might be new to you. Okay. For
Okay.
example, generosity. Oh, this is also simple. Adaptability. What do you understand by this term, adaptability?
To be able to adapt something or somewhere in a place or
Okay.
with some people.
Some people, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one way to explain it. That's only one way to explain it. In Curiosity Raiders, I give you three ways to explain something.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you talk to someone, you have to be able to explain a topic in a couple of ways. Because sometimes one way will be good for one type of person, second way will be good for another type of person, third way will be good for another type of person. But if you do it in like a proper format, like a proper framework, then you'll be able to connect with all these three types of people. Make sense? So, and that's what I
Okay.
call it as
Yeah,
a
it does.
DEC framework. Basically, it's describe, explain, and compare. I've talked about this in my videos as well. So, first of all, you talk about
Okay.
that thing, what that thing does. So, whether it's adaptability, whether it's a pen, you have to talk about a switchboard, whatever it is. The first thing we talk about what that thing is, what that thing does, what's the basic function. For example, adaptability, what's the function of, so there is no function of adaptability, but what is the, how do you describe that thing? You have already described it, and that's the perfect description. Like basically the ability to be able to adapt with different kinds of people and different kinds of situation, different kinds of emotion, and that's adaptability. Perfect. But how, and second thing is, how does it look like, how does it feel like? We haven't described that as an answer. When we say adaptability,
No.
how does that feel like when someone says, okay, I'm adaptable? Do you want to answer that?
I would say it would feel a bit uncomfortable, but
Yes.
at the same time,
It's like
I
getting out
would
of
be
your comfort
happy.
zone. It's
It
like a
is, yeah.
change, and change is the only thing that is constant. So you see, now you're explaining adaptability in a different way. So first you describe it. This is what adaptability is, that you put yourself in different situation, and then you explain how what it feels like, which is you feel like you're coming out of your comfort zone. The third thing is you compare it. So describe, explain, and then compare. You explain, you compare that feeling with something else, with something similar, like an analogy. Do you know what an analogy, what a metaphor is? I'm sure you do. Like an
Mm-hmm.
example, basically, in novice terms, giving an example of what that feeling looks like. You've explained it, that
Mhm.
you're getting out of a comfort zone, but what is the example of that? For example, maybe somebody changed schools back in ninth grade, and that was getting out of their comfort zone. They for 9 classes they were going to one school, and suddenly they had to change the school, so they had to get out of their comfort zone. So you had to be adaptable in that situation, and that's how you explain one specific term, which is adaptability, by describing it,
Right.
then explaining
Feel
it,
it.
then comparing it with a situation that happened with you. And now the person understands, okay, this person knows what he's talking about.
Okay.
Now we're not just giving a vague sentence. When you describe it, it's okay, but it's not good enough to explain a concept. If you explain it, it makes it 2 to 3 times better. And then when you add a comparison, like an example, you make it 10 times better. And now nobody has a question whether Ruchi understands the word adaptability or not. So this is a specific framework that, and that's why I've given you multiple examples here: switchboard, calendar, power
Okay.
bank. You can do this, the DUC framework, with anything. So these are simple objects, and down here you will find more weird, different level of concepts that cannot be
Okay.
measured: work ethic, listening. And I've given you a couple of examples here as well. For example, pencil, what it does: you use it to write or draw on a paper in school or at home. What it looks like: it's a thin cylindrical yellow with a pink eraser or smooth tool. What is it similar to? It's like a wand for your ideas, like a magic wand for your ideas. So basically you write it on a paper, but we're giving it a comparison with a magic wand,
Okay.
like the Harry Potter wand. But now you understand. So basically, this also gives you that fluency flexibility. Another term you can use here. Sometimes, let's say you're not able to say the term pencil, or you don't have that word in your mind. Okay, you want to describe the happiness word. You forget it, but you want to tell someone that you're feeling happy. So but you can so you can describe that feeling, you can explain how you're
Mm-hmm.
feeling, and you can compare this. So this is what I'm feeling like. And this activity also teaches you all the nuances, all the phrases you're listening right now that you're not able to understand. You will understand them
Mm-hmm.
better because you understand the
Okay.
concepts of comparisons. Because all of these phrases, these idioms, all they're trying to do is they're just comparisons of something that happened. Like all the idioms, they're just comparisons, because and they're from a one specific situation. For example, something happened once in a blue moon. So this idiom, once in a blue moon, this actually used to be something, I'm not remembering the exact situation I talked about in the video, but it was like something that actually used to happen with soldiers. I think they were on a boat or something, and something happened for them once in a blue moon. It was like literally it was literally a blue moon for them, and some kind of situation would happen once in a blue moon. So that's how
Oh.
this situation, this phrase appeared because of them, and now everybody uses it.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're just comparing our situation with their situation, because when something happens so rarely, we start comparing it to that. Okay.
Okay.
So these are
Yeah.
things that you can use, and then there are questions here: close-ended question, open-ended question, then a deep dive. How to ask questions, because in communication you also have to ask questions. Sometimes people forget. Sometimes people think it's all about listening and speaking, but what to speak? You have to sometimes be able to, as a leader, you have to be able to drive a conversation in the right manner. That's what whole this all about. So module 2 is mainly for you, and module 1, the shadowing
Okay.
tool, is
Maybe
mainly for
too.
you. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
There's
Yeah. I'll
another,
I'll have a look
yeah,
today.
you can have a look, but that's pretty much, I think I've explained a lot. We went into more details. I was not planning for that, but I hope that it helped you in some ways.
Yeah. Thank you so much.